Hello, our screencast today is on classroom procedures for the teacher. We have a lot to cover, so we will try to get it in just a few minutes. The purpose of going over these classroom procedures is just to demonstrate this verse in 1 Corinthians 14:40. It says, "Let all things be done decently and in order." As teachers, it is our job to display God's characteristic of orderliness, and by organizing our classes and making sure our students know what they're supposed to do, we can demonstrate this in a practical way. So, starting the year out right. Many years ago, I heard a preacher talk about the funnel effect, and he was talking about this in the context of parenting. But notice how the funnel starts out very small at the bottom. He gave the example of starting out with very little freedom with your children, and it kind of sounds mean, but it'll make sense in a second. But if we start out with a little bit of freedom and, very strict at the beginning, notice how the funnel opens up a little more and a little more and a little more until it gets to the top where it's wide open. And you can open that freedom slowly as you get through your school year and have the same effect of just training your students to follow these procedures. Be very strict with it at the beginning. As you get further in through the year, you can release a little bit more freedom, and they can earn that privilege of your trust as they follow the procedures right. And you'll see that if you start out right, then you will have a good ending of your school year. One educator, Fred Jones, said, "Do it right or do it all year long." If you start out with the procedures correctly on the first day, the rest of your school year will go much more smoothly. So just some personal procedures, just be a good example. Show up on time. School starts at 8 o'clock. Students are supposed to be there at 7:50. Try to be there between 7:30 and 7:45 at the latest. This will just show them that you care and that you want to be ready to go when they are. And this other one, bring your lunch and any personal items or equipment needed. In the past, we've had a little bit of trouble with this, parents or teachers needing to run home and get their PE clothes or grab their lunch real quick, or they forgot something at home. Let's just be a good example and show them that we want to be organized right away. For me personally, I try to get everything ready the night before. For my PE classes, have my tennis shoes ready, and for my lunch, get it ready all in the refrigerator so I can just grab it when I grab my coffee in the morning. And that just really helps just be prepared as you get to school, and you won't forget many things that way. And also, just spend some time with the Lord. It really shows if you're praying, if you're reading your Bible, and lift up your students to the Lord in prayer. You have an opportunity with them that not a lot of people have. And so just spend that time with the Lord, and it will show in your countenance. Also, stay focused on the goal. They will want to distract you. They will try to get you talking about something off topic just so that they don't have to do schoolwork, but stay focused. Also, they will try to they will get sidetracked by that fly that's buzzing around. They'll get sidetracked by that person who slams the door a little too loud, by that jacket that falls off somebody's chair. Stay focused on the goal. That is your job, is to keep the students focused on what they are learning about. Also, they will see if you don't really care about what you're teaching. And I know that going over 2 plus 2 and what a noun is and how to write that cursive J sometimes gets monotonous, but they will be into it if you are into it. When in doubt, ask. Most of the time, we'll follow the procedures manual. That's what our curriculum is built on. But if you're unsure, ask a supervisor. Brother Dominic has been in the Upper Learning Center for many years. I've been in the Lower Learning Center for many years. There's always people that you can ask with experience, and that's why we're here. We just want to help you. Also, always follow school policy. If you're unsure about a situation or maybe it's a gray area, just follow school policy. That will clear up a lot of misunderstanding as well. In the morning, take attendance. Mark tardies or absences right away. Sometimes it's easy to forget, but if there's a fire drill or if there's some kind of emergency, this allows us to have it in our hands right away. Also, we'll get it put into our computer system as soon as we can as well. So make sure you take that attendance first thing. Also, the students should take out their homework and any communication slips that have been sent home as soon as they get home. Their lunches should be placed in warm-up or refrigerator bin first thing, so this helps just streamline the whole lunch process. While they're in opening exercises, check their homework and log it in their GoalTrek report book. Each student has their own GoalTrek report card, and this is also a good opportunity to do some spot check scoring. You don't have a lot of time, I understand, but this is a good time to get all that done. Also, inform Brother Dominic of any students who are not present as you've taken attendance. That will allow him to make some phone calls if they, for some reason, have not sent a note the day before. When they get back from opening exercises, they should immediately set their daily goals. Students should score any paces that they've taken home for homework and get those corrections done right away. That way they don't fall behind. On their goals, they will have tests or self-tests marked. Those should be done first thing in the morning as well. It shouldn't be saved until later in the day because then they tend to not do as well on their tests and self-tests. For breaks and lunch, we have morning break, lunch break, afternoon break. They'll be dismissed based on privilege level, and those privilege levels here you can see E, C, and A privilege and also non-privilege. Their break times will vary based on the privilege that they've earned. Students will be dismissed 2 minutes before lunch to wash their hands and get in line. And then a 5-minute bell reminder will go off, and then of course at the end of break that bell will go off also. At the 5-minute bell, they should be going in already, getting their drink of water, getting back to their seats. And then for our dismissal, 5 to 10 minutes before school is out, you can judge your classroom, see how much time they need, but they will need to gather their belongings, clean up their desks, their personal areas, and do any classroom jobs, which will be on the wall, of course, every week. They should take home any homework paces, communication slips that need to be signed by parents. Also, you should usher your students to the pickup area. They tend to want to linger in the classroom or to wander around, and they should not be allowed to do this. And then quickly we'll go over the daily schedule. Tuesdays, staff meeting 7:30. Please do not be late. We only have about 25 minutes for this meeting, so every moment is precious, really. And of course, school starts at 8. We already talked about the students being there. The reading program goes until noon, the rest of the school till 3:30. Of note is that PE is from 1:45 to 3:15 on Tuesdays and also on Thursdays, as we'll see in a bit. Wednesday, we have chapel day. Get your students excited about this. They will be excited to hear the preaching if you are excited. This is a great time when we hear pastor, we hear missionaries, visiting preachers, of course our principal and other male teachers. So just get them excited about chapel day. And then choir groups will be after lunch, 30 minutes each. Depending on how the groups are arranged, it'll be 30 minutes per student. On Thursday, of course, this is just a regular school day, PE 1:45 to 3:15. On Fridays, we start at 8 o'clock. We have hot lunch this day, so lunch will be 45 minutes instead of 30 minutes. That includes going through the line and doing all of that stuff for hot lunch as well. And then extracurricular classes will be after lunch, and the times will vary on those depending on the class, depending on how many students are in the class. And on Friday, students will need to be dismissed about 10 to 15 minutes early so they can close up the desks, store their desks, and help put chairs away and things like that. It just is so much faster if all the students help with that. So Let's just keep that in mind. And lastly, be the teacher who is kind anyway, shares anyway, tries anyway, prays, gives, and loves anyway. Some days you'll have everything go just as you planned. It'll be your dream teacher day. Honestly, those days are few and far between. A lot of days are hard, a lot of days don't go as planned, but be the teacher who loves anyway. We have an opportunity to minister to these kids and show them Jesus' love, so be that teacher anyway. All right, I hope this has helped you out, and I hope you all have a great school year.